sometimes in life, things can crush every core value that we have. How do we rebuild that from your experience of the idea of love and connection, almost having that and then it being just ripped away? How do you rebuild that?
For context for your listeners, I was with my partner John for 10 years and he died a week before our wedding. Keep breathing. I followed my story back to early childhood and how my core values, which there's three of them. First is, how does our brain keep us safe? How does our brain make sure that we are lovable and that we have a sense of belonging? So basically, connect to our community. And then how are we successful? How do we get our core needs met and be able to make change in the world? I use my own story because he died. I was already an expert in the field and it didn't matter. And that's a big part of why I chose to write the book. I had been sculpted by core values, sourcing my sense of belonging and worth, of not really knowing who I was. I was chronically ill as a child and learning very early on that my body was burdensome to my hardworking lower middle class family
Mm,
and learning to shut myself down. And those core values of learning how to be dismissive of my own internal world then set me up for developing a codependent relationship with John, who then 10 years later would die. It felt like my soul was a void, plus I had
mhm,
PTSD. And so at
mm,
that point, developing my core values was a very intentional act. Our brain is taught, and trial by fire or the internal reckoning, the long dark tea time of the soul, we can say, I want to change it. And that's neuroplasticity, and that's agency, and that's power.